Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Andy, and welcome to this week's Team Kentucky Update. This week, we start where we always start, with our red-hot economy in Kentucky that is benefiting our families all over the state. Since the beginning of my administration, we've announced more than 1,300 private sector new location or expansion projects for a record $45 billion of new investment in Kentucky and a record 68,000 jobs that are supporting our families. And we just got some great news from a company that has contributed to our growth for decades. In February 2024, Toyota announced an incredible $1.3 billion investment in its Georgetown facility. At the time, the company announced the plan was to manufacture an all-new 3-row battery electric SUV. But this week, Toyota announced that the new production line will be manufacturing the all-electric 2027 Highlander. This means that Kentucky workers will be taking one of the company's best-known and top-selling vehicles into the future. The new Highlander is completely redesigned inside and out. The 3 rows means it seats 7, and depending on options, it's expected to have a driving range of up to 320 miles on a full charge. This is both the company's first battery electric vehicle for the U.S. market and its first battery electric vehicle assembled in the United States. And they're doing them both in Kentucky. I'm grateful that they continue to invest in our Commonwealth, and I'm excited to see the newly designed EV Highlander. I also want to give a quick shout out to everyone at the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport for continuing to raise the bar on air travel in Kentucky. Last week, airport officials celebrated the 3rd busiest year on record. That's 2025. Last year, nearly 4.6 million passengers flew in or out of the Louisville Ali Airport. As you might imagine, the busiest day was a Sunday in May. It was the day after the Kentucky Derby. That day saw 18,500 departing seats. I hope most of them felt okay. The Louisville Airport is a major economic engine for our state. It hosts the UPS Worldport and fuels our shipping and logistics sectors. It's also a welcome mat for so many people coming to visit or stay in our new Kentucky home. I want to thank all the operations managers, air traffic controllers, pilots, flight attendants, and countless other crew members who make the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport a welcoming success for our state. Earlier this week, we saw Democratic lawmakers stand up for our kids, families, businesses, and our future as they filed 4 bills to make pre-K for all a reality in Kentucky. House Bill 572, sponsored by Representative Tina Bojanowski, House Bill 574, sponsored by Representative Ann Donworth, Senate Bill 165, filed by Senator Gerald Neal, and Senate Bill 166, sponsored by Senator Cassie Chambers Armstrong. All offer proposals to expand pre-K access across the state. Moving these bills forward is essential to our success as a state because we must boost our workforce, help our families save, support our businesses, and give our kids a chance at a strong education. The single most effective way to do that is pre-K for all. Right now, more than half of Kentucky's kids are showing up to kindergarten behind. They show up with fewer words. Some don't know their colors. I talked to one kindergarten teacher who had 5 students in her class that weren't potty trained. And sadly, most Kentucky parents can't afford pre-K before that kindergarten year. The lack of pre-K access hurts our businesses, our families, our workforce, but it should be enough that it hurts our kids. Over time, pre-K is projected to grow Kentucky's workforce by up to 70,000 people. And studies show that for every $1 invested in pre-K, we get $10 back cycled through our economy. We think pre-K is a no-brainer, and it turns out a lot of Kentuckians agree. We have support from 93 school superintendents, 46 local and regional chambers of commerce, 63 county judge executives, 34 mayors, the Kentucky Association of School Administrators, and over 66,000 Kentuckians have written their legislator asking them to support expanding pre-K access. Yet sadly, the House put forward their initial budget with no funding for pre-K. For those that say pre-K for all is political, let me remind you, 4-year-olds can't vote. They are not registered. So if any of these folks are pushing back against this because they think it gives me a win, what they really do is handing another group of 4-year-olds a loss. I hope the House will amend their budget and prioritize the people of Kentucky. And the 4 bills I just mentioned offer a real, meaningful path forward. So today I'm glad we have 2 of the bill sponsors with us to offer a few words. We have Representative Ann Gay Donworth, sponsor of House Bill 574, and Representative Tina Bojanowski, sponsor of House Bill 572. If you all would join us and say a few words.
Hi there, I'm Representative Tina Bojanowski. I know firsthand how important pre-K is because in addition to being a state representative, I'm a special education elementary school teacher. So I'm so thrilled to have filed House Bill 572, which increases the poverty level to 250%, allowing more of our students to have access to early childhood education. Right now, too many kids start kindergarten already behind. Some kids come to school not even potty trained. Having worked in special education for 15 years, I know how much more difficult this makes it for the individual student, the teacher, and the other kids in the class. As an educator, I know how impactful pre-K for all will be, and that is why I filed the bill and am proud to stand here and support it today. The goal of pre-K for all is simple: to prepare kids for success. We want every child to enter their first day of kindergarten confident and ready to tackle the start of school. Decades of research confirm what we teachers already know. High quality early education provides lasting benefits. Children who attend pre-K show significantly stronger reading and math skills. This is not just a short-term gain. States all around Kentucky have seen better scores in 3rd grade reading, better performance in middle school, and better high school graduation rates. By investing now, we save later. Studies show that for every dollar invested in early learning, we see returns through reduced needs for remedial education and special education services. Pre-K graduates are also less likely to be involved in the criminal justice system, and they'll earn a higher average lifetime income. Pre-K teaches critical social skills: how to share, how to follow directions, how to work in a group. Skills essential for success in school and in life. When a child learns to manage their emotions and interact positively, the classroom benefits, allowing teachers to spend more time teaching and less time managing. Let us give every student the strong foundation they deserve. Pre-K for all will help children start kindergarten ready to learn, paving the way for a lifetime of success. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ann Gay Donworth. I'm the state representative for the 76th district. Pre-K for all is not a partisan issue. It's the right thing to do for our kids, for our families, our businesses, and our futures. 18 other states, including Alabama, West Virginia, red states, and blue states, have seen lasting success. And that's why I was proud to have filed a bill to expand pre-K access in Kentucky. To keep Kentucky's economy strong and keep our future bright, we need a strong workforce. That future starts in the classroom, and crucially, even before kindergarten. The support for pre-K for all has been overwhelming and widespread, from parents and educators to business leaders all across the Commonwealth. This isn't just an idea for Lexington and Louisville. We've seen support pour in from Pikeville to Paducah and everywhere in between. Over 40 chambers of commerce, representing thousands of Kentucky businesses, large and small, support this. They know early education is better for workforce development and talent recruitment. It's a pro-business, pro-growth policy that's going to keep Kentucky competitive. Over 60 county judge executives, rural, urban, and suburban communities are all asking for this. Why? Because they see that their schools are struggling to catch up when students arrive when they aren't kindergarten ready. Because parents want to get back to work. Because parents know that their children deserve every opportunity to succeed. KASS and KASA and the majority of superintendents support pre-K for all. Educators are ready and eager to teach these youngest learners. They know a head start sets a child up for long-term success. The consensus is clear. Kentucky is ready to move forward and to give every child a quality early education. Pre-K for all isn't an expense. It's the most crucial infrastructure investment we can make by investing in our next generation. Thank you.
All right. We want to thank both of those legislators for taking time out of their busy schedule. Pre-K for all is something that we should all want for every Kentucky 4-year-old. So please call your representative. Let's get this done. To the whispers out there that a lot of our legislators know this should be done, but they're going to wait until I'm no longer governor. That is at least 2 years. 4-year-olds each and every year that deserve this opportunity. I am going to confuse my team a little bit. I'm going to go out of order. We have a lot of kids that are here with us, and I know sitting through a press conference as a kiddo can't be that easy. So if you don't mind, Judge, I'm going to jump to them. Today, we're going to put a spotlight on an issue that affects too many of our Kentucky families. Congenital heart defect, or CHD, is the most common birth defect, and tragically, it's also the leading cause of infant deaths related to a birth defect. 40,000 children are born with a congenital heart defect annually, and many require surgery before their first birthday. For parents and guardians, this is not only a terrifying experience, the surgery can be crushingly expensive. I believe access to high-quality health care is a basic human right. I also believe that it never be based on your zip code or how much money you have in the bank, whether you can help your child in his or her time of need. That's why I've worked tirelessly to improve health care across the Commonwealth. During my first week in office, I worked to protect critical health care for nearly 100,000 Kentuckians by eliminating some existing roadblocks. We fought to expand Medicaid in order to ensure that our families can access both the physical and mental health care that they need. And we expanded Medicaid coverage to a full 12-month postpartum period. We relaunched Connect, which offers health coverage options and includes other programs that can help our families in need, like supplemental nutrition assistance program or help for children through the Child Care Assistance Program. We're seeing healthcare services expand across the state, like the opening of Norton West Louisville, the first hospital in West Louisville in 150 years. We've also opened PMC's new Children's Hospital and its Appalachian Autism Center, the U of L Health Hospital in Bullock County, the Mercy Health Lourdes Cancer Center in Paducah, and we celebrated Appalachian Regional Healthcare's mobile clinic that is now bringing healthcare to people. Thankfully, we have great hospital organizations and nonprofits to help us succeed. High on that list are the folks at Carrington's Heart, which is an indispensable voice and resource for so many families with babies born with CHD. As a dad of 2 kids that are growing up way too fast, there's nothing more important to me than keeping all of Kentucky's children healthy and safe. And I also want to ensure that every Kentucky family has the chance to watch them grow into the adults we know they can be. To the parents of young ones with CHD, the pain and stress you're dealing with is unimaginable for most of us. But know that we are there with you every step of the way. And thanks again to Carrington's Heart for the incredible work on behalf of these families. We have a number of folks from Carrington's Heart. We'd love to invite you up as I introduce Maggie Chisholm. Maggie is here with Carrington's Heart, but is also a mother who lost her daughter, Evelyn, who I got the chance to know. Maggie, our prayers have been with you, and I'm amazed by your strength and bravery as you continue to speak up in Evelyn's honor. Would you please join us and say a few words? And families, come on up.
This may be a little too tall for me. Governor Beshear, thank you for once again recognizing Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Week, as you have so consistently and graciously done throughout your time in office. Your continued recognition matters deeply to the heart community and the families you are honoring. Behind every statistic about congenital heart defects are real families, parents, siblings, and remarkable children, some of whom are in this room today. By acknowledging this week, you are helping ensure that their experiences, challenges, and triumphs are not overlooked. As we stand together today, families, advocates, and leaders, we are reminded that congenital heart disease is not rare, not temporary, and not something children simply outgrow. Your recognition helps bring visibility to a lifelong condition and affirms the importance of ongoing awareness, compassion, and support. For my own family, CHD meant long days in hospitals, moments of deep uncertainty, and eventually loss. In her 8 years on this earth, my daughter lived with a complex heart condition, but she also lived with joy, determination, and love. Her story is one of many represented here today, and your commitment to honoring this community helps ensure those stories are seen and remembered. By signing this proclamation, you are sending a powerful and affirming message to heart families across Kentucky that we are seen, we are valued, and our voices matter. On behalf of Carrington's Heart and the Heart families here today, and all across the Commonwealth of Kentucky, thank you, Governor Beshear, for standing with us and for recognizing Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Week every year. And as my daughter Evie would have said if she were here today, and has proudly said at proclamation signings in the past, let's do this.
All right, now I'm proud to present the proclamation for Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Week in Kentucky. Let's thank all these brave families who are here with us. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate
All right. Thanks for helping out. Have fun. Thank you. All right. Next, we have some good news for 4 communities across the Commonwealth. We are announcing $3.4 million to make our local communities safe and healthier. First up, we have some good news for the city of Clinton in Hickman County. The city is using $850,000 to build a new fire station. The building will provide space for volunteer firefighters from across the area to train. It'll cut response times, and it'll make our people safer. That's on top of some previous grants we've awarded to Clinton to improve their stormwater and wastewater systems during my administration. We have a video from Clinton Mayor John Kelly.
Hello, I'm John Kelly, the mayor of the city of Clinton, and I want to thank the governor's office, the Department of Local Government, and the Commonwealth for this grant of $850,000 to help our community grow. This grant will be used to build a new fire station and training center for our volunteer fire department. We're especially thankful for the Beshear administration for their help in receipt and getting 2 other grants. Stormwater grant is like close to $2 million, and then we have an infrastructure grant. It's like $2 million, and both of these grants are something that the city has really needed for years. We're just thankful what's going to happen in the future for our city.
Well, thank you to the mayor. Staying in West Kentucky, we're awarding the Marshall County Fiscal Court $850,000 to renovate the county's Senior Citizens Center. This center is currently closed, and the project will reopen it. It's a big win for the community. It'll expand the kitchen, make the restrooms fully accessible, and improve and expand the office space. Our seniors deserve to age with dignity. This project will make sure we're treating these Kentuckians with the respect that they deserve. It's been a big week for Marshall County. On Monday, we announced James Composites is investing $6 million in creating 25 new jobs. And later this month, the judge will help open the Marshall Yards Racing and Gaming $40 million investment, bringing about 100 new jobs. Marshall County Judge Executive Kevin Spraggs is with us today. Judge, you want to come up and brag on your county?
Thank you
Thanks
for the
for
kind words. I want to start by thanking
Governor Beshear, Department of Local Government. This grant is absolutely what we've been waiting on. It's so exciting for Marshall County senior citizens. It will allow us to totally renovate the center that they've not been able to occupy for the past 4 years. I would like to thank the City of Benton for allowing them to use the Joe Creason Center for about the last 2.5 years, so they do have a place to meet on Wednesdays. But this renovation will give them their home back, and we are so excited to get started on the project. As Governor had already mentioned, we are so excited about this month. We've got so much going on, and we've got momentum with us with the state's help, and hopefully we can keep that up. Thank you.
Thank you to Judge Spraggs, who's doing a great job. I think what we're seeing amongst especially our county judges and our fiscal courts, our mayors and the city councils, is just a level of cooperation and working together that we haven't seen to the level we are, and it's one of the reasons that Kentucky is breaking all these economic development records. You know, I guess it wasn't rocket science. If we don't fight each other and we work together for the betterment of our people, really good things happen. From the far west to central Kentucky, we have an announcement for Millersburg in Bourbon County. I'm happy to announce $850,000 to stabilize 2 deteriorating buildings on Main Street. They were both destroyed in a fire in 2022. So the city will use the money to replace the roofs and the windows and remove the floors of the buildings. That should keep our people safe. So thanks to Millersburg for getting this work done. Our last announcement is for Trimble County. We're happy to approve $850,000 to help the county build an urgent care and a primary care clinic along Highway 42. This will close a healthcare access gap in the area that makes our people healthier. It'll cut down on drive times for our families when they need vital services. We provided funding for this project through the grant program as well, so this is a great example of pooling money together to get a project across the finish line. We have a video from Judge Executive John Ogburn on this project.
We're here today gathered to announce the award of a CBDG grant of $850,000 for an urgent care center and physician center in partnership with Carroll County Memorial Hospital. We would really like to thank Governor Beshear for his leadership and offering this grant opportunity and us being awarded this. We'd also like to thank DLG, our legislators, our Economic Development Cabinet as well for the matching grant funds. I would like to thank our folks from KIPTA that helped with writing the grant opportunity, the Trimble County Fiscal Court, and especially the Carroll County Memorial Hospital. We'll have the CEO, Jennifer Leiter, here with us today, and her willingness to partner with Trimble County to get this facility built in Trimble County. I would also like to thank in Governor Beshear's office, Rocky Atkins, Senate President Robert Stivers, Speaker Osborne. I would also like to thank our local senator, State Senator Lindsey Tishner, and our local House Representative Felicia Rayburn. Trimble County alone has gotten over $450,000 from that program, so it's really beneficial to rural counties. I'd also like to thank specifically Jared Haley, Felicia Harper, Jennifer Wilson, former KIPTA employee Dustin Duncan, and Ethan Shraji for their help on this CBDG grant. And on behalf of the Fiscal Court, thank you, Governor Beshear, for awarding us this grant.
Congratulations to all those receiving awards today. Next up, we're highlighting career and technical education in the Commonwealth. As we all know, Kentucky is on a record-breaking economic win streak. Again, 68,000 new jobs. No other administration has come close to that number. I don't say that just because I'm competitive. I say it because it's really good for our families. At a time when so many are worried about whether the American dream is still real, that if you work hard and play by the rules, you can get ahead, we're proving it continues to exist in Kentucky. Our career and tech schools are training students in high-demand professions like construction, engineering, manufacturing, healthcare, and more, professions that you can work a hard day's work, but then be able to support yourself and be able to support a family. For so many of our students, career and technical education is where their future truly comes into focus. Practical, hands-on training by experts allow students to connect what they've learned in traditional classrooms to growing economic opportunity. Since I became governor, we've invested nearly $300 million to renovate and rebuild career and technical centers in high schools all over the state. And I'll give credit where credit's due. This was an idea that came to me from our current Senate president, who said, I think this is the right time to spend these one-time dollars. And it's been a phenomenal program. We know that education is the key to unlocking a brighter future. That's why we're working hard on pre-K for all. And because education is important from pre-K all the way up to the highest level that you can go. So today, we're presenting a proclamation recognizing February as Career and Technical Education Month in the Commonwealth, and we have a special guest. We have Commissioner Robbie Fletcher and his team with the Department of Education who are here with us today, along with Mia or Maya? Do we have Maya? Mia, come on up. And Haley, who Mia is studying nursing. Haley is studying welding. We are really excited to have you all today. Commissioner Fletcher.
Thank you, Governor.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Governor, before I get started to talk a little bit about CTE, I want to take the opportunity to just thank you for your focus on education. We mean it so much. It's obvious in everything we do. And every time I'm Team Kentucky, it seems like we're making another great announcement. So appreciate that so much, and thank you so much
keep
for your
doing
work.
it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. The other thing that the governor started out with was a highlight of Toyota in Georgetown. Just so happens, I was at Toyota in Georgetown yesterday, actually at Scott County. With Scott County and Great Crossing, they have a partnership where students get you have 24 students in that district that have paid internships in their senior year. CTE works through partnerships, whether it be with the governor's office, whether it be with our legislature, whether it be with our local business people. So I want to take an opportunity to say thank you to our businesses across the Commonwealth that invest not only time and dollars, but people in our students each and every day. And also, too, career and technical education at its core is vibrant learning, hands-on, relevant, and deeply connected to real careers. We talk about how this is probably our best tool in the toolkit when fighting chronic absenteeism. If students are engaged, they want to be in our classrooms or on the campuses of different businesses making that education work. CTE blends academic knowledge and employability and technical skills students need to succeed after graduation. As far as scale and access, more than 145,000 Kentucky students enrolled in CTE courses during the 2024-2025 school year. Students have access to over 120 state-approved pathways across 13 program areas, plus locally developed pathways that meet regional workforce needs. We recently worked with Warren County on an AI pathway, so we're looking at regional work as we move forward too. As far as credentials and outcomes, students have earned 16,000 plus industry certifications, credentials that carry real value. Many students leave high school with college credit, certifications, licenses, and in some cases, a direct path into employment. As a matter of fact, my son graduated with all his welding certificates, so I'm a little partial to welders. So again, that was something that I'm very thankful for those opportunities as a parent, not only as commissioner. CTE also plays a critical role in building Kentucky's future workforce. Programs are aligned to high wage, high skill, in-demand careers, supporting economic growth and competitiveness across our Commonwealth. CTE Month is a time to celebrate students, educators, and partners, and to encourage Kentuckians to serve as ambassadors for CTE. And we have several of those ambassadors in the room today. So again, Governor, thank you for taking the time to recognize and for this CTE Proclamation Month. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We'll now, hold on. I think we're going to give you all the proclamation. That seems right. We need a lot more nurses. We need a lot more welders. Thank you all for being a big part of our future. So I do hereby proclaim this is Career and Technical Education Month in the Commonwealth.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
I figure we always put our students first.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you to Commissioner Fletcher. In our last, I think, major topic, I have an update on open dump site cleanup funding. Team Kentucky continues to make significant progress in improving the health of our communities by eliminating illegal open dump sites. Today, I'm honored to announce more than $763,500 is going towards the cleanup of 77 illegal open dump sites across 17 counties. The counties are on the screen. The fund is generated through a $1.75 fee on each ton of garbage disposed at Kentucky Municipal Solid Waste landfills. We're proud to support our local communities in making sure all of our families have a safe and clean place to call home. Since the project's creation, more than 3,000 illegal open dump sites have been removed statewide. These cleanup measures strengthen our communities and protect our most precious resources. And now, our Team Kentucky All-Star. To close us out, it's Winter Olympics time. Brittany and I got in the spirit with a curling lesson with the Derby City Curling Club. I can attest it is a lot harder to score points than it looks. In honor of the Winter Olympics, we want to spotlight a Kentuckian who we're hopeful will be there one day. China Taylor, a Louisville native and an incredible hockey player, was just named the 2025 Sports Illustrated Sports Kid of the Year. She was featured on the cover of the January edition of Sports Illustrated for Kids. She's planning to attend the University of Wisconsin to continue her career. Last month, she led Team USA's under-18 girls team to gold in Nova Scotia. In the gold medal game against Canada, she had an assist and tallied the most ice time of any player in the game. We're cheering China on from her home state one day. I want to watch her play in the Winter Olympics. Go Team USA. All right, with that, we've got 3 journalists in the room with us, 4 on the line. We'll start with Darnell.
Sorry, with your recent presence on the national platform, back-to-back this week, I know we had a very, very busy week. What does this signal to the national, to the country, and what benefit does it do for Kentucky on the national stage?
Yeah, so the question is some big appearances this week on The View. I was surprised to get that invitation, but I was happy to go on, as well as the Daily Show. What it means is we're doing great things in Kentucky. You know, people wouldn't be providing these invitations if we weren't creating more jobs, if we weren't getting some of our best wages, if people's view on Kentucky hadn't changed dramatically in the last 6 years. You know, we used to be a state that people looked down on. Now they're looking up to us. We're winning, beating other states for the jobs of the future, and it's truly exciting to see that, you know, our economy is still expanding, even in a very difficult time. But the other thing I'm trying to do is speak reason into the chaos. I'm trying to be a steadying voice of what our country should be, of pushing back against the division, of telling people that their neighbor is not the enemy from within, it's just your neighbor, and she or he are doing the very best they can in a difficult world. I'm also head of the Democratic Governors Association, so I have 36 governors races to try to win across the country, and this is an important platform, some of those shows and other appearances to get those messages out. Carolina.
Governor, regarding your appearance on The View, Immigration and Customs Enforcement has responded to comments that you have made in a post on X. ICE says that they will continue to withdraw criminal aliens from Kentucky regardless of your rhetoric. What's your response to their response, and also what concerns do you have with their operations here in the Commonwealth?
So we've learned that ICE is so tough, they watch The View. Listen, my challenge here is that ICE is not operating the way that any law enforcement agency can or should operate. As Attorney General, I was the top law enforcement official in Kentucky. I know how an investigation is supposed to be run. I know people's rights and whether or not they're being trampled on. And the fact is that ICE is acting outside the bounds of law enforcement. They believe they can march into an American's home without a judicial warrant. They can't. That's a violation of whoever's rights that they're treading on. And now there is an American body count to the way they're going about their work. So what I called on is that they need to be retrained, all of them, because they've been encouraged, and leadership has to change. I mean, when a officer-involved shooting occurs, the person in charge of that agency can't make conclusions. That impacts the likely investigation. And we do an officer-involved shooting for every shooting that occurs in Kentucky, one law enforcement agency or another. You don't just make a conclusion and move on, and just about all of them are even presented to a grand jury, even if it's law enforcement showing up, say, on a domestic violence call, and the person walks out and starts shooting them. We even do the investigation there. Why? Because that protects our rights as Americans. So, ICE can act tough. All I was doing was exercising my First Amendment rights. That's within the Constitution, and I suggest that ICE reads it. Piper.
Darnell and Caroline have both my question, but I'm interested to know what your hopes, prayers, dreams, and wishes are for Kentucky 2 at Louisville.
Oh, at Blue Oval? Yeah, so I still believe that Blue Oval is going to be successful. It's just going to mean 2 more years of waiting. But during that period, there's another $2 billion going into Kentucky 1, which means we're going to have a lot of construction jobs, more construction jobs than we initially thought. I think in the end, we're going to get a deal where Ford takes responsibility for the loan that was out there. And if they don't create the full number of jobs, Kentucky will get paid back the portion of that loan for those jobs. But I think that Ford's going to be able to make a real run at the full 5,000 jobs. The storage battery industry right now is really hot. And when you think about our grid across the country, it's really inefficient. And this is a way to change that, both at the production level, out in the solar panel field. These batteries are already being ordered years in advance. And Ford knows how to make things. So I have a lot of confidence in them. So my hope is that we've got 5,000 full jobs, probably 2 years after we initially expected them. But for the market to have been changed so much through that big, ugly bill, and Ford to still say, we want to honor this commitment. We want to make this work. They've been a great company for us. I mean, I just look at the investment in the truck plant, the investments in LAP, where we're going to have that facility for another 20 years, and other investments they've made. Ford trusts Kentucky. And now they're trusting Kentucky in this brand new industry. Now, my goal is to take those 1,600 workers, and we just had one of the best job fairs that I've seen. And if they want a job next week, they should have a job next week. And their training is really good. We've got employers that are really excited about it. If they want to wait and work at the battery facility when it's completed, that's okay too. But my main goal is to make sure all of our Kentucky families can continue in good employment. All right, on the line, we got Tom Latek.
Thank you, Governor, and good afternoon to you. Are you getting any positive vibes, if you will, from the General Assembly regarding the budget bill, your proposal versus the House version that's out there?
Well, the way it normally happens, at least since I've been governor, is we put out our proposed budget around the same time the House puts out their budget. We work together on technical issues. They've got some things in their budget right now that won't work, and maybe some that they don't know the full financial impact. For instance, in the state employee health plan, the state pays a certain portion. What they've done is say, no, the state can only pay a certain percentage into that cost for the employee's health care. Well, guess what that would do? It would significantly increase the cost to every single employee, all of our teachers too, all around the state. And so we're moving through that piece. Then we talk to the Senate, also talk to them typically substantively, go through our budget versus the House's, and then they come out with a version. This year's a little different in that the House is saying they have a base level budget, but they're willing to add to it. So that creates another part of this process. We're willing to work with anyone and everyone. We know our budget includes some things that are important to the Senate that I know that we'll see later. I think our budget includes some things that are important to the House as well. And we'll see how active individual members of the General Assembly get with this new process that's in the House. I know that there are some investments in communities of Republican representatives that aren't in the current budget, and I'm sure that they'll be pushing to get it there. So it's a process, and this is a tougher budget. It's nowhere near as tough as during the Great Recession, but it's going to mean that we've got to make choices and that we've got to have priorities. Josh James, who I hope is recovering.
Thank you, Governor. I am and appreciate it. Auditor Allison Ball released a report She says shows millions in questionable spending in the executive branch in 2025. I think citing things like advertising, travel. What's your response to those findings?
So I have not seen a report, and I don't think it can be a report because they never asked us any questions, and you have to do that if it's an audit report. All they did was take lines, and they didn't ask questions because if they'd gotten the answers, they couldn't have done the political attack that it was. I mean, for instance, her individual, under oath, by the way, giving false information, claimed Office of Medical Cannabis spent $339,000 on advertising for medical cannabis. They didn't. They spent $93,000 to create training and educational videos for the public. The videos were for prospective medical cannabis licensees. They were for law enforcement about what's legal and what's not. They were for patients, providers, and for local government officials who would have the dispensaries and other businesses in their community. Her person testified that this didn't go through a competitive bidding process. That's a real accusation. That's wrong. The work was done under a master agreement that was competitively bid and awarded. They said that DCBS spent $6,000 of Kentucky taxpayers for a Lexington Legends game. That $6,000 is purely federal. It didn't cost the state at all. And what did it do? 430 foster kids got to see what's probably their first professional baseball game. During the game, the team runs advertisements educating people on how to be a foster parent and why you'd want to be a foster parent. Let's see, they said that DCBS spent $15,000 at Natural Bridge. That is their annual meeting. It's done in one of our state parks. The money moves from DCBS to state parks. It stays entirely in state government. The auditor claimed that Department of Aging and Independent Living spent $198,000 for a media campaign for senior meals. Untrue. The $198,000 is a membership fee that they must pay to be a part of a federally required public education program. Let's see. They had comments on temporary manpower services and falsely testified about the indictments that just came out against individuals that were not employed by but were working at the Transportation Cabinet. Under oath, they said that it was a black market of driver's license sales to undocumented citizens. The U.S. attorneys have been very clear. None of the people involved were in the country illegally. None. Let's see. They claimed that Medicaid Provider Forum, which was zero cost to the state, that we paid $34,000 for an annual Medicaid Provider Forum. Half the cost was paid with federal funds. The rest is being reimbursed by MCOs, $0 from the state. They claim that DCBS paid $915,000 for legal services, despite having 50 attorneys. 97% of that were court-ordered payments, where they said, DCBS, you will pay for kids in foster care. As you can see, that testimony was wrong, and they didn't ask questions because it was merely a political attack. Listen, if you're in the auditor's office, just do the work. That's all we're asking. We don't have anything to hide. Are there expenses here and there that we can do better on? Sure. But if you're attacking us for dollars that went to foster kids because judges said that it had to, those are questions you should probably ask. Okay, Isaiah Kim Martinez, I will provide a shorter answer to your question.
All right, thank you, Governor. I just had a question about a resolution filed today. You might not have had a chance to get it, but it's State Representative T.J. Roberts' initiative. It has to do with SNAP and basically directing your Cabinet for Health and Family Services to basically have those third-party benefit processors provide to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Is this something in sort of transparency, I believe is sort of the goal here, according to them? Do you believe this is necessary or?
Well, I haven't seen it, but if it's about replacing part of the SNAP administration, right now we are on pace to be under the error rate that the federal government has set any penalties. It means we're operating it well. But I would really appreciate if the legislature, as opposed to looking at that, would push back against the federal cuts. I mean, we are going to have thousands of Kentuckians lose their food assistance, go hungry. And I heard so many representatives and senators from both parties saying that we needed to put more money into our senior meal program. But I don't hear any of them from one party saying these cuts to SNAP on the federal level are wrong and they're going to hurt our people. I mean, either we're for feeding people or we're not. If that becomes red or blue, Democrat or Republican, then we're in trouble. And finally, Mark Glover.
Hi, Governor. We're working on a story today about Senate Bill 152 that moved out of Senate Education this morning. Among the things that it's suggesting would transfer the duties of school-based decision-making councils to advisory councils to principals, taking away the decision-making from those councils. I wondered if you had a position on that. Certainly SBDMs have been around since CARA in 1990. Wondered if you had any thoughts on that.
I think it's ironic that the legislature is trying to consolidate executive power in different other areas around the state. I think that having community engagement is critically important. And I think that when you have good leadership, you can bring people in. You can make them a part of that process. You can build support in your community. And I think our principals, by and large, are able to do that. What I see is a lot of these bills going forward that provide a superintendent or a principal more authority, and that superintendent or principal are saying, we didn't ask for this. All right, we can handle this job. We can bring the community in and make them a part of this school. But I haven't reviewed the rest of it. I'm going to reserve any type of judgment on it, but I always think more participation is better than less. I want to thank everybody we had here today. We had a packed house, and we will be back next week with our Team Kentucky update.